Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Money Matters Top Tips for Success, where each and every day I bring on new business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and have them share their top tips for success with you. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have LaToya Warren on the line, who's a life coach over at She's Authorized. LaToya, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So I'm excited to get more into what you're doing over at She's Authorized as a life coach. But before we do that, let's get a little bit further into your background. So how did you get started in your career?
Well, I do believe it started probably at a young age, just being able to be kind and service people. I've always, after being pressed for thinking about how did this start, I just began to think about my whole foundational principle. And I began to think about my life overall, and I always found myself in a position of wanting people to be great, wanting people to be well. That, in turn, came to my service for community. I've been a law enforcement officer for 23 years. That, in turn, turned to my love for my faith, how I could serve, not just in my family and my community, but how I can serve in a matter of faith-based. Later in my life, I became a licensed minister at Triumph Church, and I'm very, very proud of that angle. So overall, I just have this genuine love for people.
I love it, and I love the way you kind of built your career and how you help from so many different angles. And I feel like, there's some younger, let's just say, entrepreneurs and or people just starting their career that aren't quite as far along in their journey of serving as you are. And, they're listening to this right now. What kind of advice would you give to, let's just say, that newbie that's really just, maybe they're just getting out of college, or maybe they didn't go to college and they're going right into the workforce and they're thinking about finding a ways to serve? What kind of advice would you give them?
The first thing I need each and everyone to understand is that it's very valuable to understand who you are, what the truth is about you. I find myself meeting the feet of people who don't know and understand their purpose for living, who does not know the direction. Just like you said, they have no idea what they want to do next, but they know they want to do something. And the connection with some type of mentorship, with some type of counseling, with some type of leadership that can actually pinpoint and target your greatest portion of you is necessary. You can replicate somebody else because you admire what they do, but if it's not genuinely within you, it won't be your greatest efforts. It won't be your greatest service. So it's easy to do something that you see someone else do, whether it's giving back to the community, helping the poor, mentoring. But what's most important is what you were created for and what you can do at your very best. This is what the community needs from you.
That's awesome. LaToya, I want to switch it up a bit. Let's get a little bit more into what you're doing as a life coach over at She's Authorized. So first, tell me a little bit more about the business and what you do, please.
She's Authorized is amazing to me. It's one of the greatest things I have been connected with and been called to, and there is no boundaries. The one thing I love about She's Authorized is that I meet new people every day. I don't meet a stranger. I'm always the new best friend. And my desire to see people great is my desire to do just that. So She's Authorized is nationwide. It even goes beyond the seas. I am connected virtually with people that I've never met, maybe recommended. And what we do is not just in tune them with who they are or what their purpose is, but we make sure that they have the tools and resources they need to build themselves up in that area of expertise. I push business. I push entrepreneurship. I push wholeness, wellness. I just want people to be whole in their best ourselves. So whatever I can do, I do that to assist. We do one-on-one counseling. We do group therapy. It's very private. It's very isolated. Whatever conversations that goes on between myself and the young lady stays just between myself and them. It's an amazing program. And again, I love it because there's no boundaries. I speak to people in Jamaica on a regular basis, all across the country. And we also service the community as well. Most of the ladies don't even know each other. One of my biggest jokes is that I have sat in front of two sisters that didn't even know one or the other was seeing me. They had no idea. Today, they still have no idea that I'm seeing the both of them. And we work on themselves.
Wow, that's amazing. And so let's just go a little bit further into your coaching practice. So somebody's listening to this and they've been thinking about, it's a new year and a lot of people like to start thinking about new ways to get help and to get mentorship and to get coaching. What kind of clients are the right kind of clients for you? Like, what kind of clients do you like working with?
I like this is going to seem strange, but I just said this today. In 2020, I want to deal with the desperate. And when I say desperate, I mean the ones that I don't have to make want to change, but the ones that want to be at their best selves, the ones that have the desire to do the work. The work is not easy, Adam. I'll tell you that. A lot of times we have to go back into the dark. We have to go back into the trenches to be able to build a person up. And some of that doesn't look good. However, the journey is great, and the journey is definitely a number one effort, and it works. That's one of the key tags that we use in our group, is that it does work, but you have to fall in love with the process, and you have to have patience.
That's awesome. What is a typical timeline look for somebody that's working with you? So meaning, because there's different coaching styles. So is it a month, 2 months, 3 months, a year, ongoing? Like, what does that look like, just so people know?
It depends on the severity. Some things are severe. I do deal with deeper things like depression, suicidal thoughts. So some of those things are long-term. Some of it can be very short, where they just need to pick me up, or they just need the direction to have someone assist them get to the answers that they need. This is what I tell my clients. I do not have the answer for you, but I can definitely walk with you to assist you in taking another perspective in order to get there. Sometimes I may have the answer, but I won't tell you. I'll let you work for it. So it can happen in a couple weeks. I have met people in one session, Adam, where we have sat down and had a discussion, and the light bulb comes on. And that's all they needed from me.
Wow, that's awesome. So, LaToya, I know you also have some speaking engagement coming up. Tell us a little bit more about that.
On May 2nd, I am connected with the leadership firm, Fair Group Consulting, with Sean Fair and Keon Clinton, and I'm so excited about this group. It's a new connection and partnership. I am talking about the importance of emotional intelligence in leadership. That's going to be held May 2nd at Macomb County Community College.
Perfect. So, LaToya, if somebody wants more information on She's Authorized or to connect with you, what's the best way for them to reach out?
I have a website that is up under ladieslivingforthelord.org. ladieslivingforthelord.org. There is a contact information there. I am also on Facebook as LaToya Warren, Instagram, Minister LaToya.
Perfect. So, LaToya, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background and all the great work that you're doing over at She's Authorized. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store, do all those great things we do to support our podcasters. I really do appreciate it. And LaToya, thanks again for coming on the show.